Hello everyone, I'm a Meta Slave and welcome to chapter 19 of my Conquest Max Round Efficiency. This is probably one of the hardest maps in the game, especially for like planning purposes, because it's a route map full of dodgy, fast, and pretty hard hitting enemies that can have a gimmick where they can just not be attacked on player phase, but can also come out of it on enemy phase and murder you. So that's really annoying. But first thing that gets done is reclassing Corrin into Wyvern Lord. Uh, now that I've gotten Heartseeker and Malefic Aura under my belt, because Flight is really hard to pass up on this map, especially when enemies have Beastbane, which makes them effective against horse units. I use Wyvern Lord over Malignite because I don't really need magic for the next couple maps, so just getting the better physical bulk is better. Camilla gets tonicked up here and is going to be one of my two Beast Killer users thanks to getting the Arm Scroll in a previous map. Because of Renown, I have two Beast Killers at my disposal. The other one goes on Xander. I need to also use some healing items, have some healing items available to me because enemies do hit pretty hard, like I said before. There's a lot of them. Camilla's problem because unlike Corrin, who has Heartseeker and Gunter pair up and a pretty accurate weapon and enough strength and speed to just double and two shot or one shot everything. Um, Camilla needs a way to try to hit enemies, kill enemies pretty reliably. Generally, the route that this I guess the way that I try to do this is by having her double and one shotting enemies with the Beast Killer. This way, she has two chances to kill the enemy, even if she has subpar hit, which against something like a Beaststone Plus is pretty likely to happen. To double a Beaststone Plus guy though is pretty tough. I think you need with even with a lot of speed stacking, I think it's more in the 80% range rather than the 90% range. But to me that was pretty acceptable. Because it's just a reliability buffer rather than something I'm reliant on. I also promote Benny here because Camilla kind of needs defense more than she needs speed just to survive all these foxes in the first place before she worried about doubling them. And also the strength is nice so that she can get the one shots she needs. The positioning here is pretty specific in order to get everyone where they need to be on turn one, because basically the idea is that Camilla and Corrin are kind of just going ham on turn one while I just pick up the stragglers or the slack that they couldn't deal with on turn two. I also have Xander here, like I said before, using the other Beast Killer. And he's kind of the tertiary combat unit that can deal with enemies that Corrin and Camilla can't get to. And I also use the Chapter 17 Speedwing on him to have a similar reliability buffer when it comes to killing the foxes, some of the dodgier foxes. The Chapter 17 Speedwing is from Leaving Saizo Alive. I also give Gunter the boots, which I'll explain in a sec. But first, I use Laszlo's Rally to hit some strength and speed benchmarks on Camilla because, like I said, doubling Nine-Tails is pretty tight. But I used the boots on Gunter because I wanted Corrin to be able to reach that tile that he just ended his turn on, because that's the only tile that can be in range of every single fox in that top right corner. That's very important because that's a pretty dangerous group with a fair amount of LND as well. LND, I mean, so the LND guys are probably some of the scariest on this map, just because even if they even if they just die instantly, they're still doing quite a lot of damage before they go down. This positioning here is to make sure Azura can't get attacked by this Kitsune that starts in Leaf mode but will come out of it turn one. But because he doesn't have Beast Foe himself, he doesn't one-shot the generic Peg. That means that she can just easily take one hit and kill him in return. On this top right corner, what's important to note is Corrin needs to properly balance his defense such that he's taking exactly one damage from the first guys that are attacking him, because he needs that much to even, he still needs to take damage to even get attacked, but he wants to still survive everything else. There's going to be one that doesn't even attack him because he's too bulky, but that's okay. That can be picked up later. That can be picked off later. Camilla, because of the Benny pair up, is bulky enough to deal with these bottom left guys, even some of the stronger ones with Beaststone Pluses and Beast Runes. Her hitting the Beaststone Plus is pretty important because the Beaststone Plus guy is pretty important because if they attack to her left, then she'll get body blocked, and getting body blocked is really bad because she needs to be on a specific tile on turn 2 to bulk Kaden. That guy that just attacked Corrin, because he's paired up and has a Beaststone Plus, Corrin's not really realistically doubling him, so it's actually very important that Corrin has enough strength to one-shot him, but that's usually pretty easy. Hit rate is not a concern because of the aforementioned hit stacking. That this Beaststone Plus with Life and Death is also quite strong, but luckily Corrin is more than bulky enough to deal with everything. Even if Corrin had gotten hit by every enemy that attacked him, he would still survive here. The rest of these foxes, besides the ones that are attacking Camilla here, are just going into leaf mode. But these are some of the weaker ones on among like what's on the map because they don't have LND and there's not really that many beast runes either. So it's perfectly fine for Xander to deal with them instead because them having Beast Bane means they'll still go for Xander even if he's very bulky. Whereas they are a little too weak to go with Camilla, who is not a beast effective unit. Because she's not body blocked, Camilla can pull Kaden here, but pulling Kaden here is, and obviously heal because Camilla and Corrin are both taking quite a beating that they need to heal off. But Camilla pulling Kaden here is very important because Kaden is only coming out of leaf mode on even number turns. And if he doesn't, that means I'm forced to wait a turn, and I don't want that. Generic Master Ninja Man, who I don't think I mentioned actually, he's using the Forged Hunter's Knife thanks to, again, the extra 100 knives you get from Renown, and he's going to deal with the two top right foxes that are still alive. Xander murders these guys, though, and he's just bulky enough. Or, yeah, I mean, he's more than bulky enough to not even care. He just needs to make sure he's hitting them, which, because he got the Speed Wing, he can double, like, the Beast Rune guy. So that's all that really matters. Kaden's the most sensitive, like, strength, like most sensitive when it comes to Camilla's strength, because she needs enough to ideally one-shot him on enemy phase, because he does have Armored Blow. And leaving him alive is, like, fine if she misses there, but it's better for her to be able to one-shot, have two chances at one-shotting, in order to most reliably be done by turn 3. Xander does get Defender here, which is nice. It's good. It's just a skill that boosts everything by 1 when you're paired up, which is helpful to have going forward. Corrin is more than strong enough to deal with these foxes that some of them have L&D, and the ones that don't usually do enough damage anyway. And that's just dandy. I neglected to mention that like he used Rally Defense at the beginning of turn 2 on his first action to bolster Xander and the Ninja's defense, because they did need that to survive, especially the Ninja. Turn 3 is really, really just cleaning up stragglers at this point, but a couple of these foxes completely passed up Xander, even though one of them, I don't really know why that one did, because he could have damaged him just fine. But what I do is I have Leo hug him to put him under the effects of Heartseeker to give the Ninja a way better hit than he would without it. Now I need to figure out, like, okay, can I do something similar using Odin after I dance? And the answer is yes. So I dance for the Ninja from the right of him so that I can use Lazel to take and separate and putting Odin next to this fox and activating Heartseeker again. That third fox that's going to attack the Ninja, it's fine if he, it's fine that he's not going to be under the influence of Heartseeker, because he's going to be on a tile that lowers his avoid rather than one that raises it. So it's going to be the same, like, Displayed 95 that I was facing before, which is just dandy. Kaden's dead, so I only have to worry about one of these guys on enemy phase, or on player phase, because the others on enemy phase will come out of leaf mode, but it is imperative that this guy dies on player phase, because he will go into leaf mode if I don't kill him. Because I want more EXP on Camilla, since Corrin is they're both gaining EXP at an alarming rate, but more so Corrin than Camilla, I want Camilla to get the kill there. It's fine if I admit it looks a little greedy for me to have, taken like an existent amount of damage if I had missed the first hit when I was doubling like that. But it's fine, because even if she had gotten hit, she would still survive all these other enemies, because her defense from the Benny pair up makes her quite bulky. It's mostly important, and most of these enemies she had 2 chances of hitting, so again, perfectly fine for her to deal with. But I guess technically the most reliable would have been use Corrin. That's chapter 19 in 3 turns. I'll see you next time.